is under attack. And so even as you all come in dealing with the backlash of a federal government that very seldom has ever valued the contribution of TRIO programs to the degree that the funding is commensurate with the product that you all put out, you then have to deal with a sequestration that removes even more dollars. But I think even in the midst of crisis, there's opportunity. And in the midst of attack, there really is an opportunity to take stock of how we operate as organizations and institutions, and how we need to create strategy from the future that in some cases is drastically different from how we were created and how we have been operating. And I just truly believe that TRIO programs in particular are in that place. This is a time when the writing is on the wall that no longer will our programs ever be funded the way that they need to be by government agencies. The federal government will never get to a place where your program or the programs around the country have the resources they need to effectively do what you've already proven you know how to do. So this isn't an issue of a new program that's fresh on the scene, that's trying to prove to the world from a pragmatic standpoint that you all have a replicable model that can effectively be proven with data to show that young people that come through your program graduate from college more than those who sometimes don't. That's not the place that you're in. So if TRIO is in the place where it constantly is having to validate every single dollar, let alone once you get the money, having to jump through hoops to be able to report on it, what does that say to us? Because over and over again, we can continue to try to create mobilization efforts to engage a federal government that just doesn't have it. But more importantly, we're attempting to engage a federal government that doesn't have the will to do it. And that is more telling. It's one thing when you start talking about the amount of money that's set aside in appropriations to be able to go towards TRIO programs and like-minded programs. It's another thing when you have a federal government that does not have the will to effectively fund these kind of programs because they don't care. And whether we believe they don't care or not, it's proven in the policy, it's proven in the allocations, it's proven in the reductions of budgets. And what does that say? It says that we are in a time and place that no matter what social services we're engaged in, we cannot rely on federal and state budgets, to federal and state lawmakers, to be able to even find the funds, to be able to fully fund, let alone adequately fund the work that we're doing. So what does that then mean? Because I'm talking to you, and clearly this is not new. But the question is often, what then will we do? And so I think that there's a couple of places that you all, I hope, are already thinking. And if you're not thinking, that you will be thinking more aggressively as you engage in this conference and continue to engage in the work that you're doing. I have never, as long as I have been doing the work that I do, traveling around the country, working with those that are attempting to not only gain access to higher education, but effectively matriculate. I'll be honest with you. When I go to college campuses and I'm talking to young people, I will talk to campus leaders, Black Student Union presidents, Student Government Association members, members of one of the Divine Nine Black Greek letter organizations, members of NSBE, members of other organizations, TRIO members who do not know what the retention rate of their institution is. And they're planning parties for students, they're planning social functions for students, they're even planning academically focused and culturally relevant lectures and panels for students. But those same students who have been charged